It isn't practical and applicable for everyone and probably never shall be. Again, I just want to come back to this idea of being given this message we've all got to switch. We haven't, we can't, we shan't. There's no need to. Engineering will come up with other solutions. They're already there.
For the first time, it's now cheaper to run an electric car than a petrol one, thanks to a price war between charging networks. BEV, owned by Octopus Energy, has slashed its rates to 39 pence per kilowatt hour, undercutting rivals like Ionity and Tesla. Competition is revving up ahead of the 2030 electric switch. Richard Hammond knows a thing or two about cars and he joins us now. Good morning.
Morning.
Do you think this is going to be enough to make people finally switch to electric vehicles for good?
I love this idea of switch as though everybody could or would. It's not that binary or polarizing issue, which is the way it's constantly sold to us. It's not, and it can't be, actually. To get one thing straight, the transport infrastructure has to decarbonize. Totally see that. Nobody's denying it. The internal combustion engine never damaged anything. It was the fuel. And digging up oil and releasing CO2 into the atmosphere. Yep, we're going to have to find ways of stopping it. Not just in the world of transport, by the way, but also fast fashion, chemicals used in everything else we do, our homes, etc., etc., etc. Cars are just one part of that. Electric cars, battery electric cars are one of the solutions potentially to that. One of them. And very, very effective in some applications. I drove the new Renault 5 recently and loved it. I thought it was a superb little car. And it also captured that emotive element of a car, the connective bit, the bit where we grow to love a machine simply because it enables us to live our lives by taking us where we need to go, whether it's to school, the shops, work, to meet friends, whatever. It did all of that. But it wouldn't fit into everybody's life. I actually looked at it and compared it to looking at a child's bicycle in the shop window and thinking, oh, I wish I was 8 and that was waiting under the Christmas tree for me. My life would be complete if it fitted my life. But obviously a child's bicycle wouldn't work for me in my life now. I'm 55. And an electric car wouldn't work in my particular life, but in other applications it would. I guess what I'm saying is we keep getting these polarizing ideas and theories that, right, we've all got to switch to battery. Can I just put it quite straight? We can't and shan't. Battery-powered vehicles, electric vehicles were tried at the same time at the dawn of the car. And in some applications now, technology is advanced to the point where they can function perfectly for us. But for other people, they won't work. And also, critically, engineering is still refining it and working on it. Battery energy density is the big problem. It's a different process to a fuel that's consumed. It needs solid matter to work. Batteries are and always shall be heavy, but there's more advances announced today, I think, in solid-state battery technology by Toyota. And at the same time, Mazda are working on an incredibly efficient combustion engine, a rotary engine, to work in a hybrid configuration.
So,
And by the way, just one point, Kate, if what I'm saying, you're going, oh, what's he going on about? Is hybrid? I
well,
don't
no,
know.
I think we hear you, but I think the point is more for the people who do really want to do this. Because your point is that obviously, I mean, we always talk about this. We talk about this a lot, and our listeners love talking about electric cars. For the people it works for, they are absolutely into them. They love them. They're never going to switch back. But for the people who want to drive up the motorway for 6 hours on a weekend to go and see family, it doesn't work at the moment. It doesn't work for lots of different reasons. One of the things that people are a bit worried about, though, is changes to the tax system, because for a long time electric vehicles have sort of been allowed to operate in a way that helps people, incentivizes people to go towards them. Would it be the wrong moment, in your view, for the Chancellor to hike taxes on electric vehicles?
I think it would be the wrong moment to use taxes as a means of steering everybody towards a means of moving around to live their lives that isn't practical and applicable for everyone and probably never shall be. Again, I just want to come back to this idea of being given this message we've all got to switch. We haven't, we can't, we shan't. There's no need to. Engineering will come up with other solutions. They're already there. Hydrogen combustion, hydrogen fuel cells, those are suitable for different applications and will work in different applications. They already do. Synthetic fuel. If we use renewable energy to bank hydrogen, as opposed to putting it in a giant battery, when it's not being used, we turn it into hydrogen. The Mazda car that they're looking at, it's only a concept car at this stage, will use fuel, which could be synthetically made. It's hydrogen and carbon, a hydrocarbon, without digging any oil up. We can capture carbon to do that. It will capture its own CO2 emissions at the tailpipe put them into a canister. It can then be reused and combined with renewably generated hydrogen as a means of banking renewable energy to create a hydrocarbon. It's a perfect circle. Nobody's picking any more up. We just are not getting that messaging as consumers. And you said before the little break before I came on, Richard Hammond is coming to join us. Is it time to swap? He thinks you should, to switch rather. He thinks you should. No, my advice to all of us would be to be good and conscientious consumers, because that's our job. Our car is one of the biggest contributors potentially to the whole of the climate problem that we as individuals will make, and we need to think responsibly about it. But to think responsibly about it, we need to be informed. We need to understand these things, and we don't. It's crazy, isn't it? 10, 20 years ago, I was doing car reviews and all I had to talk about was, they've put electric windows in the back as well as the front. That was it. Nothing changed. The internal combustion engine powered car didn't change for about 100 years, really. It was just refined. Now, the whole of the automotive space and the buying decisions we as consumers make within it is immensely broad and wider and deeper, but we aren't informed as those consumers. The most important thing we can do, rather than blindly say, somehow find £50,000 to buy an electric car that doesn't quite fit my life. Let's act as consumers thoughtfully and conscientiously, because business and commerce will follow. It will follow what we need and want. Engineering behind them will make sure what we need and want doesn't destroy the planet we want to live our lives on.
Richard, switching gears briefly, because we have run out of time. You once hosted Wipeout. There's a hosting vacancy at the moment. Would you throw your hat in the ring for the Strictly gig?
I don't think that would work very well. It remains a standing threat to my daughters. I haven't been asked to do it for some time. I was asked a couple of times, and if ever my daughters are annoying me, the threat I can hang over them is, if you carry on like that, I will say yes to doing Strictly, and they would simply curl up and die of shame. So I don't think I'm flamboyant enough to host that. It's not for me.
Oh, well, I'm sure there will be people wishing you would. Richard, thank you very much for joining us. Great to have you on the programme this morning.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. That is Richard Hammond there.
I'd vote for him. I loved Wipeout. What a show Wipeout was. You've never seen it. It's people throwing themselves into large inflatable things in Argentina. It's almost...
Hang on, the thing where you have to run across an assault course? Yes, I do know that.
Yes, it's almost inexplicable if you've not seen it.
No, I do know what that is. I wanted to go on that.
Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it? Yeah, Richard Hammond presented it. Good old Richard Hammond, there you go.